Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the St. Louis podcast for October 20th, 2023. I am your glorious host today, Eric Brown, sitting next to Katie Baker. Today, we have Anna Carwile on, St. Louis content creator and blogger on the St. Louis podcast, and we're going to get into the weeds with her and her business. But before we do, this is the St. Louis podcast, where each and every Friday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, we drop an episode on all major audio and video platforms where we meet with the most badass people and creators to talk about business, entrepreneurship, and current events. Now let's jump into it. How are you doing today?
Great. How are you?
Doing well. It's been an early morning, but we're hanging in there. Katie, you want to introduce our guest?
Yeah. So like Eric said, we have Anna Carwile. She is a St. Louis content creator and blogger.
I bombed that last name the first time. Sorry.
She's also a clinical pharmacist, a wife and a mom to 2 little boys. She loves to travel and finds luxury travel at middle-class prices. And then you are also passionate about supporting local businesses and restaurants in St. Louis.
Yes.
Perfect.
So,
Eric.
yeah, I wanted to ask a question actually about middle-class prices.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that statement interesting. So the reason I actually say that is I just watched a podcast and they were talking about like what the middle class even means. And apparently there's actually no definition for what the middle class actually is because it fluctuates obviously based on, it almost used to mean people that could like afford a home. You had like hopefully one person that could like go to work, take care of everything. Maybe the other person stays home or has a part-time job or something like that. But we used to be able to live like that back in the day, right? Now it's like
Totally different.
Two people have to have a full-time job to hopefully be able to afford a house and a mortgage and to get things. So I guess my question to both of you is, what does middle class mean to you?
Middle class to me is just like not top of the line, most expensive as far as like hotels and excursions and things like that go. So I usually try to find something sort of middle of the road price range. I usually have like a estimated price that I'm looking for and then find the best of that price range, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like I love more like luxury hotels and things like that, but obviously I don't want to pay like the 5-star prices that are out there. So that's what I like to do. And I'm very passionate about like making specific itineraries. I have like, if you look at my website, I have like pretty detailed itineraries for the locations that I've been to. And I have itineraries that aren't on the website yet that are places that I would like to go someday.
Yeah, I saw you had like Greece and Italy, like 10-day ones. So how do you put those itineraries together?
I literally like do research for months and I love it. And that's the reason why I do it. So I get really like focused on things. Like if I have something that I really want to do, which is usually a trip or whatever, it's all I think about. Like I get very into it. And I plan like, every excursion for like every day and look at restaurants for where we're going to be that day, plan which restaurant I want to go to for lunch that day, which hotel we're going to stay at. And just basically I read like thousands of reviews on Google, on TripAdvisor, on different places, and just.
You ever go to Reddit?
No, I don't really use Reddit, actually.
Reddit has phenomenal, like, locale base. So, like, they'll have one for, say San Francisco. They'll have a subreddit for that. And a lot of the cities will have, like, a saved page for just, like, list of the best restaurants.
Oh, cool.
And Reddit, you just upvote. So obviously the most upvotes are going to be the ones at the top of the list. But if I'm going somewhere I've never been, Google reviews and things like that. But usually Reddit, you can find like the hidden stuff from like, say someone posts on St. Louis, I could comment on there and be like that versus hopefully finding something on Google or something like that. But Reddit usually works pretty well. Cool. I've had good luck from finding restaurants on there from cities. Yeah. I have no idea what the hell I'm trying to find.
Yep. Understandable.
Yeah, but okay. So as far as traveling, I'm going to Washington D.C. this week. Do you have any recommendations?
I don't, because I haven't been there since I was a kid, and so that wouldn't be very helpful to you.
I went when I was like 8 years old. I had the opportunity to go out there for a work event, and I'm going to stay for a couple days because I'm a history guy, and usually I plan my trips. I have nothing planned. Literally nothing planned besides the place I'm staying at after I leave the event. I don't know where to go. Well, I know museums. I've been there as like an 8-year-old, so I know I'm going to hit the museums and things like that. But where to eat? Apparently, Washington, D.C. isn't great
the
food.
scene for
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
really? See, I have a friend who she's
But that doesn't make sense to me. There's so much
Yeah.
money in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
There's no way there's no
she's a
good restaurants.
pharmacist too, and she wants to eventually move back out there because she did a residency
Okay.
in Washington D.C. and she said the food is amazing because it's got people from all over the world, so they have like
Oh, that's
Ethiopian
true.
food and
After
you
this,
know all kinds of
after
different.
this, let's text her.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you're leaving like literally tomorrow.
Yeah, I am leaving tomorrow. Yes, I
Yeah,
can't wait.
I could not do that. I would have like a minute by minute itinerary. It would
I was
be,
gonna ask, like, so you have the itineraries for every trip. What happens if like it goes like something goes wrong? Does that just like throw off your whole trip?
Weather.
I mean, it depends on what it is, and
Mhm.
yeah,
Yes.
like how much it really throws it off by.
Yeah.
I would like to say that I like am go with the flow, but I'm not. I would be
Yeah.
like upset.
Yeah.
My husband is very go with the flow, which like luckily for him, he just kind of goes with my flow.
Mhm.
Whatever-
Yeah.
Yes,
whatever
exactly.
I want to do.
Exactly.
But, yeah, so we travel well together, but
Yeah. So do you bring the kids like overseas?
no, we
you
don't.
do not. Okay.
That would not be a vacation.
I was
for
gonna say,
anybody.
yeah. How
Yeah.
do you like plan around that?
Yeah, they
But-
they haven't traveled with us yet, but they're 4 and 7, so I'm hopeful like in a couple years,
Yeah.
you know, like they'll be old enough to travel better, but like the flights, like a 12-hour flight
Yeah.
with a
That's
4-year-old,
Oh my
true.
God. There's no
nobody
way.
in the plane wants that to
Yeah.
happen, you know, like
Mm.
A
nobody
7-year-old
does.
doesn't want to sit on a plane
Right.
for that long. I would
No.
freak out
Right.
as a kid.
You can
Yeah.
only look at an iPad for so long.
Yeah. So, not
Yeah.
yet, but hopefully someday soon.
Have you taken them to Disney?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
That's like as expensive as a European
Oh, I know.
vacation.
It's
Well,
ridiculous.
apparently now it's not as expensive
Yeah.
because of everything that's
Mm.
going on with them. But
I think I know a travel planner, and she said that if you find the right stuff, it's super affordable to go there.
mhm.
I don't know though.
My parents told me they had some deals the other day. It was like
But
4
what is
days.
the deal? The problem is like a ticket a day is like 150. You got
Right.
4 people. That's like $600 a day.
Yeah.
Exactly. I guess
To go there.
relatively affordable,
Yeah.
but like it's still really
It's
expensive.
insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Compared to what it normally is, though. But still,
And
you
also
gotta like
you
save for that trip.
well, then also
Mhm.
you have to get the fast pass. I mean, how much is that?
Oh yeah,
Mm.
That's
because you
an
also don't
additional-
want to wait in line with a 4-year-old for
Exactly.
2 hours
Well, plus
Exactly.
the
For
fast
every
pass
ride.
kind of sucks because you only get to use it once a day.
I
for,
don't
like,
know
one
anything
Oh
ride.
about it.
really? I
Yeah.
didn't
Apparently
know
they
that.
changed everything last year,
Oh.
and there's a big uproar about the whole fast pass thing. I think they changed it this year or last year
Well,
because
I
it
know
used to
they-
work well, and then they essentially made it more expensive, and they made it now like on some of the new rides it doesn't even work on.
I know. Yeah, they
So
like
what's
pick
the
and
point?
choose, and then you have to like go on the app and like reserve your time, and like if you miss your time, like sorry.
I remember going there as a kid, and like I would go around, or like my cousins, and we'd run around the park and get like you'd have to go get the fast passes in the morning essentially. So
Mhm.
you'd run around the park and get a different time. So you go to the roller coaster 1 and be like, all right, let's get this for noon. Then you go to the Tower of Terror. All right, let's get this for
Yeah,
1.
so then you can just plan
Yeah.
out. Yeah,
Yeah, but you can't do that anymore.
no.
And yeah, I don't know how we went. I feel like my brother was like 5 when we went. I don't know how my parents did that.
I went when I was 7 and when I was 8,
Yeah.
and it was great. And then I went when I was 19. It was fun still.
Yeah, I haven't been since. I feel like it'd be fun to go without any kids during
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah, it
the
was a
winter when it's
blast.
warm
Yeah.
down there at least.
Winter is more expensive because of the Christmas.
Okay, we'll go in like February.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, we
something.
went in August and it was like literal hell.
Oh yeah.
Standing in those lines for hours.
Even in spring
Ugh.
break. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think everyone should use a cheat, which is don't go on vacation during spring break, and if you do, go somewhere.
Yeah, from like March to middle of April, you can't go anywhere.
No, it's brutal. I
Mhm.
don't know. I don't have kids, but I'd be like, what's a week of school?
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like
I mean, honestly, I think that's what we'll probably do someday.
I feel like
Mhm.
you could just teach them at this point something. I mean, what they're gonna.
Yeah, we went
No,
around. When
the
I was
teachers don't
younger,
attack me. Sorry.
We
I'm
went
just-
around Halloween, and I just like got out of school for a week.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, how much do you miss in like the 4th grade,
Right.
or 5th, or even
Yeah, I think I
6th?
was in,
I
like,
mean, you could probably
3rd.
just go all the way up the list.
Yeah. What are you actually learning?
Yeah. Okay. So on all of these, so you obviously the 10-day itinerary, did you follow that when you went to these places?
Yes.
Okay. So they're tested and true.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Well, and the Greece one, I actually like edited it when I got back from Greece and
Mhm.
like added some things and like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah, based on
Because
yeah.
sometimes things do change a little bit, you know, like we decide not to eat somewhere, or we eat somewhere different. So like I added different restaurants and things like that to some of it.
When you go to these different countries, do you go? I guess in Italy and Greece, English really isn't a problem
No, it
because they
wasn't too much
all
of a problem except for when we went up to Turin in Italy,
okay.
because it's so far north, I
I was
guess,
about to
and
say
it's
that's more in
Mhm.
the mountains, right?
not as touristy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like we had kind of a hard time getting around in Turin, but pretty much everywhere else it was easy.
Mhm.
Yeah. I feel like now you have your phone. I saw on the iPhone that I just got yesterday, shout out, that there's a translate app.
There's
Yeah.
been a translate app.
He's
So-
never had Apple before.
Oh, I was like, that's not new.
Yeah.
No,
No, he literally has never had
Okay.
it.
No, I had Apple when I was a freshman in college and got my phone stolen from me, and I
What,
haven't
so
had
the
one
iPhone
since.
3?
Oh,
It was I think it was the 4S.
Yeah.
I think it was the 4S.
nice.
Yeah, he didn't even know how to open it. And he's like, how do I put my fingerprint in here? I'm like, there is no
Yeah,
fingerprint.
I was like,
Oh.
"What?" Yeah, Matt. I go, "Where's the fingerprint?" She goes, "It's Face ID." I go, "So there's no fingerprint
Just
option?"
before you came in, he's like, how do I go back? I need a back button. I'm like, just swipe.
Dude, it hurts. I'm learning over here. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I have to learn the whole ecosystem. Apparently, I'm gonna get a MacBook too. I mean, geez.
Yeah, I got a
Oh, why
MacBook
would
for
you
the
do it
blog.
yourself?
Mhm.
It's the
Why would I
best.
do it? Because I want that A2 Pro chip or whatever, or the M2 Pro chip.
If you've never used a Mac before and you're going straight from Windows to a Mac, you're gonna hate life for like
it's
a
not,
month.
It's not
Like-
that different.
It
You
was a little
say that.
different. Like
It-
I had to get used to it when I got my MacBook like this summer. But now that I have it and I'm like it links with my phone, so
Mhm.
like that was the main reason I got it is because I
It links
upload
with
so many
everything.
photos, so
Yep.
I can
Yeah.
just like send photos to my laptop super easy. And before it was such a pain, like with when the file sizes were too big to get it onto my laptop.
Yeah.
So anyway,
No,
Ev-
there's
After more than a decade of learning all the hotkeys for Windows, if I
I
try to go to
know.
a Mac now, I'd be like, I'm just gonna cut my hand off.
I know.
What's the point?
I know. I'm gonna have to have like the cheat sheet just next to me at all times. Like, yeah, literally. I know. I've used a Windows laptop literally my whole life.
yeah, I had to until this summer,
Yeah.
and I had to like Google like how to copy and paste.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna be so upset. Yeah, Control V. Like I don't.
I had to do
Yeah.
it a couple years
Control
ago.
Z
Like,
back. Like what?
it does that.
Okay.
Control Z or Command.
It's
Yeah, commands.
It's
So
just
it's
a different.
command?
It's just
Command.
a different button. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, I didn't know how to screenshot on here.
still
I had to
don't know
Google
how to do
I don't know how to
I use it a lot.
screenshot now.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
screenshot on my computer.
I mean, I do. I have a tool for it, but apparently, Alex always goes, "There's a native tool in your."
There is, yeah.
The native.
Yeah.
it-
I mean, and, like it's already built into your laptop. Like you're an
Oh,
idiot. Why aren't you
okay.
using it? Anyways, Matt's like, I'm gonna look it up because I don't know how to do it either.
So, was there a specific trip or restaurant that made you want to do this, like the blog and itineraries?
Honestly, just I had probably like 3 or 4 itineraries up on like just Google that I had saved for a number of years, and I was like, I wish I could share these with people. You know, like I feel like this would be extremely
Mhm.
helpful because every time I talk to somebody, they're like, "Oh, I hate planning trips. Like I love
Mhm.
going places, but I hate planning them." And I'm like, I love that part. like, so I want to share them with people, you know. And so that was actually like the main reason why I started the website, like before I even Instagram and all that has
Yeah.
started happening. Yeah. So it was mostly for the travel itineraries, and then I started adding more St. Louis stuff as I like did more stuff with Instagram for that, and just thought it would be more helpful to share the positive sides of St. Louis because I feel like a lot of times like people around the nation don't really know
Mhm.
of St. Louis as like a destination
Right.
or like a place to get good food or have fun things
Or
to
like
do.
where to go, even
Yeah,
when they come
exactly.
here?
Yeah.
So, do you have any favorite local eats? Any spots?
I
Ooh.
lost
Let's
my
give-
left
let-
ear
top-
audio.
Top 3.
Top 3. That's tough. I mean, Yamanja, Brazil is like
Where's
so it's in Benton Park.
Okay.
So it's Brazilian food, obviously. But it's just super like fun atmosphere. They have awesome cocktails, really good appetizers. The owners could not be nicer people.
Mhm.
And they like started this restaurant with nothing. They came from Brazil, and yeah, I've done a few events with them, but honestly, they're just like the best people to
Yeah.
support as far as like local, St. Louis businesses. And their food is amazing.
Who are we talking about? I missed it. I'm having audio
Yamanja,
issues.
Brazil.
Where is that?
Benton Park.
I feel like I've heard of that place, and I've never been there.
It's
Is-
really good.
doesn't the owner own like one or two other restaurants as well, or is
Not
that just
I know of.
okay.
They do own a food truck.
Okay.
But it's under the same name.
okay?
Mm.
Okay, yeah, that's maybe I've seen the food truck. That's why I recognize that
It could
name.
be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I know they're at like Tower Grove on
Mhm.
Food Truck Fridays and stuff too.
Okay, see that food truck you told me that was good. What was that farmers market one? Remember
Farm
that?
truck.
I saw. I
Oh,
was
yeah,
at that
that one's
bourbon
good, too.
event, and the farm truck was there.
Did you get it?
Heat.
Yeah, it's so good.
I had the burger, and someone else had the pastrami.
Oh, see, I get the brisket mac.
See,
It has brisket and then red hot riplets crumbled on top,
That
and
sounds
then
good.
like scallions. It's so good. It's like white cheddar cheese.
I'm just amazed that I guess it makes sense that a food truck can get fresh food, but that business model just sounds tough.
Yeah.
I know we've talked
Mhm.
about it on this podcast before. Food
Yeah.
trucks.
Barbecue mac and cheese is so good. Fountain,
Mhm.
Fountain on Locust has really good
Oh,
barbecue
yeah.
mac and cheese too.
Mhm.
Do they?
Yeah,
I had
and awesome
that
desserts too.
for one of my friends' birthdays, and it's so good.
Mhm.
Mac and cheese is so. Every time I see it on a menu, I
I get it.
but it's almost always bad.
A lot
Really?
of times,
It's
I
always
agree.
mid.
I agree
It's
with you.
mid as hell.
Yeah, I agree.
You know whose mac and cheese I really
mushy.
like? Salt and Smoke.
Oh yeah,
It
they're
has
good.
the little Ritz
Mhm.
crackers in it. It just
Yeah.
adds something.
Mhm.
It
So
adds
good.
the texture.
Their barbecue is some of the best too. I
Mhm.
think for sure.
Salt and smoke.
I like it better than Sugar Fire.
Delicious.
I do too.
That's not even a hot take.
I don't really like
That's
Sugar Fire.
That's not a hot take.
Yeah.
We've talked about that. Sugar Fire.
Yeah, everybody's like, "Oh, it's so good."
Sugar
like, you
Fire
have to go
used to
there.
be good. No, it used to be good. Like 10
Uh-huh.
years ago, the one in I remember the first time I went, I was like, I was at Mizzou, came back. My buddy's dad had a house like right down the street from the one in not Wentzville, wherever the hell that is, Lake St. Louis
Mhm.
out there. And the first time it was amazing. But then as they grew, just like as Panera grew, everything just starts to
Hey, don't hate talk Panera.
Oh, he
okay?
will.
I
He
love
I
Panera.
I fucking hate Panera.
Why? It's so good.
I
It's like
hate
my
it.
it's like my ultimate comfort food. Like
I might go get it for lunch.
after I had my second son, I was like in the hospital. I'm like, give me some Panera.
Mhm.
So my biggest thing is how much you pay versus what you get. You
I
get
don't
s-
care.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
care.
fair.
I don't
That's
care. what
fair.
it costs.
That's fair. No, that's fair. If you don't care, that's fair.
You're paying for
I just-
luxury.
Their sandwiches are the best.
I don't know
Yeah.
why there's not a better spot.
I don't know
than
what they
Panera.
put in their bread, but it is
Their bread's
the
good.
best.
Mhm.
Some of their bread's good. No, it's all cooked overnight.
The ciabatta.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
it's all cooked
That
fresh
ciabatta.
overnight.
So good.
So yeah, it's. I just talk shit. I also work there, so
I was
I
gonna
have a
say,
little. I have a little.
You
gripe to
currently
give.
work there?
No.
No, no, no.
Like, how many jobs do you have?
do you hate it because you work there or because you don't like it anymore?
I did get fired.
Okay,
Oh,
so you
I see
probably,
what
yeah,
it
so there's
is.
some bad
I
blood.
see.
No, but-
That's
Screw those
the real
guys, they
reason.
So let me-
You're being petty.
Let me tell you this. God damn, dude, the left not working is fucking with me. So at Panera, they wouldn't promote me to trainer, which like everyone gets promoted to. All a trainer gets is like a 50%, or
I
excuse me,
wouldn't want you to be my trainer, so I
a 50%. I killed online. No, there's a manager that didn't like me, so he wouldn't promote me to trainer, even though like everyone that I got hired with, I worked there for like 3 years. I
Mm.
should have been trainer. It was like a 50-cent or 75-cent raise. And so I didn't get it. Yeah. I didn't get it. And then after that, I just kind of stopped showing up to work on time. So yeah,
I don't know why you got fired.
I fired myself.
You
But
fired
yeah.
yourself.
Well,
But it was I literally killed it for 3 years.
It sounds like the Six Flags story. Why you
Oh.
got fired from
Did
there?
you
No,
also
we're
get fired from the Six
Oh,
Flags?
this one's
Oh,
bad,
no,
though.
we're not talking about that.
How many jobs have you got fired from?
Those are the only two.
Oh, okay.
Those
That's
are the
good.
only two.
Not too bad.
No, I've had a lot of jobs. I haven't been fired from many.
I've gotten fired once, and it was from a waitressing job.
Mm.
But it was like right before pharmacy school, and then I got a job at a pharmacy right after that. So it was actually like kismet, like
Yeah.
timing wise.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah,
so.
it didn't actually matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter. But I was very upset because I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah. Oh, waiting tables was rough.
Yeah, it sucks.
I did that at 2 places. I hated it.
Well, my bosses would do
Nice.
drugs behind the store, behind
This
the shop,
wire.
and I did not do that. So
Yeah.
they didn't like me very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Where they like pick favorites. Yeah, no.
Yeah, they
It's
were rough.
working now. I just have to like set it. Okay, let's just see. We'll push our way through here. We got a new mic. We got the audio not working. It's great.
Push to a break.
Yeah, with that, we'll come back with your commercial break. No, what were we just talking about? I just came back into this conversation.
Waiting,
sorry.
getting fired from
Oh
jobs.
yeah. No, I never got to wait. I never waited.
No, like serving.
Tables?
Yeah, no,
Oh.
never did
Mm.
that. I would love to.
I think people would hate
You
you.
would not love it.
You would not. You would not be able to like.
People are the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would like.
No,
be
people
so,
would love me. What are you
No, I
talking
think
about?
I think you like wouldn't be able to like hide your. Like if somebody like
the
said a
most honest,
Yeah,
the
like-
most honest waiter.
yeah, if somebody like said
Be
something
like, no
stupid
one
to
wants
you,
an
you would
honest waiter.
just like be like, that was so stupid. Like, why'd you just ask me that?
You're like,
Maybe
you just,
that's why I was bad at it. Now that you say that.
You
'Cause
ordered
I've
a
been told I'm
steak?
too honest.
Yeah. Yeah, how do you want your steak cooked? Well done. Yeah, we just
you
don't
don't-
do
you
that
don't do
here.
that.
We don't do that here.
No, my
sorry.
favorite was
Terrible.
That's actually wrong. We don't do that here.
No,
sorry.
no. Well done is the best tasting steak.
That's
Get
how
out of
my
here.
Matt,
husband
please
orders
tell
it
me you're
too.
joking.
He's
No,
definitely
like well done everything. Get out of here.
That's how my husband
Ooh.
orders it too. He likes his meat burnt.
Disgusting.
It doesn't matter what kind of
Oh.
meat it is. If it's like charred, he likes it. I'm like,
Disgusting.
If I want to eat a bloody animal, I will go out and shoot a bloody animal. I want my food cooked.
Well done steak is
It's
disgusting.
cooked.
Tastes the best. That little char
Medium
on
rare.
the end of it. Oh,
Yeah,
Medium
rare
rare.
always.
Medium
Medium
rare.
rare.
Get the.
We're in
yeah.
agreement.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best.
I actually do less than medium rare. I cook it right to 120 degrees, which is a little bit
So rare?
under medium
Kill
rare.
It's very
No.
specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I cook steak all the time.
Right.
123 degrees.
It's-
Please.
He's like,
you
"It's
request
not
that at
there
restaurants.
yet."
Yeah, 100. Actually, specific internal temperature
Like, you're fired.
of
Please leave.
124 degrees. Yeah, if you could stop it right then and pull it immediately, that'd
No,
be great.
my favorite thing is like on a menu, if you're dining somewhere where it has the sides like clearly listed out, people would order like, "Oh, I'll just have a cheeseburger." Okay, what side do you want? Oh, it gets a side.
Read,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, where are the sides at?" Well, if you open your eyes,
No.
they're right there.
I
Although
let
I
me-
do that a lot of times. So I
Like-
can't believe
let me push back. Menus are designed so poorly.
Dude, every place now
Sometimes,
has
yeah.
like
What's
the
It's
with
so
the-
super
long.
long
It's too
ones.
long. Yeah.
What's with the massive one sheet?
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
let's get the booklets back.
I love Three Kings, but their menu is so annoying.
Every place I
It's
go to now,
huge.
it's all the long ones. And the person I'm sitting across from, we're like fighting over whose menu's on top.
You're like,
Like,
it's like
Well, it's
reading
like
the newspaper
You
back
either,
in the
you
day.
either get a waiter who like comes to your table 600 times or one that like disappears for the entire
Yep.
evening. Like there's no middle ground.
I need a happy medium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There needs to be a button.
Yeah. There should be a button.
Some places do have that with like the little screen thing. That they
Why
have
is
on the
that?
Table.
Why is that? At least just a button, like, hey, or like the waiter asks, like almost like Uber. It's like, do you want to chat or not?
Yeah, that's a good.
So
I
it's
like that.
So it's like, all right, I'm not even gonna come by this table unless you press the button.
Well, it's like I didn't come to dinner to have dinner with you. Like you're,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, like I came with the person that I came with.
That's
like,
usually
to
bad
talk to
training
that
though if they
person.
come by too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they're
It's like,
just,
don't you have
too
something else to
anxious.
do?
Yeah. Yeah, don't you have like 4 other tables
Yeah.
to take care of? Yeah, I went to breakfast Sunday and I was out of water for like 20 minutes. And I like finally was like, "Can I get more water?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll get you a refill." Like you should just do that. It's free. You should just do that automatically. I'm like literally parched right now.
Sunday brunch, you have to have water.
I was
Yeah.
at just like a local little breakfast place. It's all old people.
They definitely need water
Yeah,
for their
exactly.
dentures
I
and
like
Hydrated.
finished my
rinse
whole
their-
meal without water. I'm like, please, I'm like dying here.
See, I'm more of like a caffeine or alcohol person. So I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
normally.
always like coffee or
Well,
mimosas or-
normally we would, but the night before we were on a party bus,
Oh,
so
gotcha.
we just like
Yeah.
needed.
That's why you need a Bloody
Something.
Mary in the morning
yeah.
after a party or an espresso martini. One of the
There you
two.
go. Both.
They didn't have that. They don't even have. This place didn't even have white bread.
Why would
What
you?
they have?
So
Do you
I
often
got
order just white bread?
well like toast.
Oh, okay.
So I ordered like the loaded hash browns, and it comes with toast. And she was like, "Okay, do you want sourdough, wheat, or rye?" Well, I thought she said white, and so I was like white, and she repeated it the same way. She's like sourdough, wheat, or rye, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, wheat."
No, it's sourdough. But
Yeah.
also, that's a weird toast item. That's more for like sandwiches.
All 3 of those, I was like, I don't like. Can you just like run to the Deerbirds next door and get some
The-
white bread?
Yeah, but what's the best breakfast bread?
ciabatta.
Croissant,
Hands down. Yeah, croissants are
like
good.
from the shack.
Bagels?
Chocolate croissants are my favorite.
Mhm.
European chocolate croissants, can't beat them.
Now, a good bagel with cream cheese, though, that's almost as good as a croissant.
That's
No
an
doubt.
everything
true.
bagel.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
From Breadco.
Their bagels are mid.
No,
so
false.
good.
That's
Bagels are
false.
mid.
So delicious.
Support a local bakery. Don't support.
Yeah, St. Louis Breadco.
That's not
Careful.
local.
Hello.
They're owned by some private equity group that doesn't care about
Yeah, I'm
St.
sure they're
Louis at
not
all.
anymore.
Did you see they're going? I think we already said this. They're going back to St. Louis Breadco.
Good.
Nuh-uh, nationwide?
No, just
Oh.
in St. Louis.
Oh, I thought
Because
they
they
still
were
were.
no,
I
they,
thought they were too.
there was some in St. Louis, and there was some like in Columbia and like cities around that were Panera. Anybody that's like near St. Louis, they're putting St. Louis back on.
Good.
Which
I'm
makes
like
sense, but
totally getting that for lunch. It sounds delicious.
that.
So
Doesn't-
good.
I'm
Have you been to
I'm
Paris?
boycotting.
No, that's next on our list actually.
Okay. I was gonna ask.
We were actually supposed to go to Paris and Switzerland in 2020, and then
Yeah.
you know what happened. So
Yeah.
I had half the trip booked already, and I had to like cancel and get refunds on like everything.
Mm-hmm.
That sucked. But yeah, I already have a full itinerary. It's done. You know, like I'll probably edit it a little bit, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're still gonna go to Switzerland too with it?
I don't know. I'm debating because I have a friend who she's been to France a few times, and she's like, you have to see more than just Paris, you know, and
Yeah.
France, and I don't know. So I'm debating whether I want to do both Paris and Switzerland, or if we want to split it into two different trips.
Yeah.
Spain's right there.
I know that's what's so hard in Europe. It's like, well, I want to go here.
Apparently-
Well, I want to go here too.
apparently-
Like, we're
Apparently, Barcelona is amazing.
yeah, that's on the list too. I
Yeah.
have a list on my phone of like all the places I want to go, and
Mhm.
it's long.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, my family and I just a couple weeks ago were talking about like if we did like a European trip. They were like so naive thinking about it. They're like, well, we want to go to Ireland and Germany and England
yeah.
and Italy.
Usually, you
We
stay
could
to
do
the
that in
north
like
or the
8
south,
days.
right?
And I said, oh, no, we need
No.
like a month.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Don't usually people even either go to the north or to the south. Like they stay in like Italy, Greece
Well-
area, or they go up to like UK and like.
Well, then they were like, I don't really want to go to England, so we can take that off. I'm like, but I do. Like, if I'm already over there, might as well just go.
yeah,
But
but you
they're-
can't see that many places in one trip. Like you
Yeah.
have to. I feel like each
Right.
country kind of deserves its own trip, but like, I don't know.
But I think it was because we were talking about like if we won the lottery the next day before like the big
okay.
one was won.
So
we were
you
like,
just traveled
yeah,
indefinitely.
I was like, I'm taking off work for a month. We're going overseas, but I'm like, I'm doing like a month because I
Okay.
don't want to spend 2 days in
Traveling.
Italy.
yeah.
Like, I want to like spend a little
Yeah.
time,
No,
explore.
yeah, you
Oh
can't
my gosh,
spend 2
Italy
days
is
in
the
Italy.
best. Like we've been to a few countries over there now, and
Mhm.
like Italy is still my favorite. Like
I'm gonna go
I don't
so
know, it's
bad.
gonna be hard, and it was difficult because that was our first like big trip was
Yeah.
to Italy, and so I'm like, I don't know if we're ever gonna top it.
Yeah.
Like I
It
mean,
didn't even top Greece, or Greece didn't top it.
Greece is amazing,
It's
and it
beautiful,
was
right?
so beautiful. But I'm a big foodie, as you
Sure.
have seen probably
Sure.
on my
Yeah,
website and
yep.
Instagram. But
Mhm.
so I love Italian food,
Yep,
and like
that's my favorite.
there is no Italian food like the food in Italy. Like it's seriously like whole other. It is not even in the same
Do
realm
you get
as.
heartburn at all?
Not really. I eat
Is-
whatever I want usually.
So I talked to people and they said like like sometimes red sauce screws me up here, but apparently that's not an issue in Italy.
Well, it's also like people who have like gluten sensitivity, they have a lot less gluten over there, and they also
Interesting.
add a lot less preservatives to their
Okay.
foods.
That's what I've heard
and their
too,
wine. So like
is-
people don't get hungover like they do in the
Oh.
US too in Italy. So there's a lot of benefits to just eating. And
I've heard people
drinking
that
wine.
like go over there, even just to Europe in general,
Mhm.
they like lose weight over there,
Yeah.
but they're eating more.
Well, you're
It's because
probably
of the-
walking around.
Well, it's the chemicals.
No,
too.
it's not. It's
Yeah.
because the food is not shit compared to what we eat.
It's true. The
Like, it's actually
regulations,
like good.
they have a lot more regulations on their
Yeah.
food than we have here. Like just on chemicals and preservatives and additives.
Right.
and-
So yeah, I've like I know a couple people that like studied abroad over there, and they came back and they like were like, oh yeah, I lost 15 pounds.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But we did walk. Like we walked everywhere.
You
I
do
mean,
walk a
right,
lot too,
which I
yeah.
love. Like that's the best thing about like staying in a big city, you know,
Mhm.
like Rome or wherever, like walking around and seeing, because it's beautiful. I mean, walking the streets of Rome, like you'll walk by a building, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so gorgeous. This must be like a really important building, and it's like a bank.
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say it's like a
It's
library.
insane, yeah.
it's like nothing.
Oh,
Like this
God.
building's thousands of years old. Oh, it's just a Chase Bank. Oh,
Yeah,
this is
it's
interesting.
amazing. Yeah.
I saw a video yesterday of like a Gothic cathedral somewhere. I don't even know where it was, and it looked fake,
Yeah.
but it was beautiful. It was like old and like black and gray like that.
That's that religious money.
Hey there, St. Louis podcast listeners. We've got some exciting news from our sponsor, Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Lee. Mark Lee of Farmers Insurance is recruiting agency owners here in St. Louis.
That's right, Garrett, and everyone knows what Farmers Insurance is, and if they don't, they will now.
Yes, it's kind of a household name. That said, as many of you know, a large part of our audience is made up of badass business owners, entrepreneurs, and top producing sales professionals with an open mind like yourself. Farmers Insurance is currently searching for driven individuals who aspire to own their own business or already own their own business and want to add another income stream to join the Farmers Insurance brand and own their own insurance agency.
This is a stellar opportunity to build your own insurance agency from scratch, take over an existing agency, or if you're just a slow roller, we know you the guys out there and ladies, get paid to train under an existing successful agency owner before starting your own.
Holy shit, Eric. That means that whether you have experience as a business owner or you've never heard the word business before in your life, there's a pathway to owning your own business through Farmers Insurance Agency led by Mark Lee.
That's right. You can become a Farmers Insurance business owner even if you've been homeless in the past, just like you.
Yeah, thanks.
If you've ever dreamt of being your own boss, building a team under a reputable brand, and making a difference in your community by offering top-tier auto, home, and commercial insurance to consumers and businesses in your area, Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the godlike man himself, Mark Lee, has the perfect opportunity for you.
Visit insurancecareerstl.com to speak with Mark Lee, the district manager of Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, to become a Farmers Insurance agency owner today.
Did you hear that, St. Louis? Go visit insurancecareerstl.com. Insurancecareerstl.com. That is INSURANCE. Career, CAREERSTL.com.
To become a business owner today, again, one more time, visit insurancecareerstl, as in St. Louis.com today, right now, this second, or reach out to us at stlouispodcast.com and we'll introduce you to Mark Lee ourselves. And I promise he won't spell out insurance and career to you.
Now back to the show.
Yes.
The churches over there are. I'm not a very super religious person,
me
but like
neither.
we went into I felt like 100 churches while we
Yeah.
were in Italy. I mean, they're gorgeous.
What isn't it the Notre Dame one that caught on fire a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
And
That's in Paris, right?
I don't know where it's. Yeah, I forget where it's at, but yeah, I know that thing was. It was like hundreds of millions of dollars in repairs, I think,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which is insane.
Yeah, it is in Paris.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
restoration.
Yeah, they're still restoring it. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
I feel
crazy.
like all of the stuff though is always under restoration, like because it's so
Well,
old.
when it's that old, yeah, yeah,
There's always scaffolding everywhere, like in Rome and stuff.
yeah. So in Italy, what's your favorite place to go? Where'd you guys stay? What part? Or did you go all over?
So we went kind of all over, but we stayed in Rome.
Okay.
So like we had a home base in Rome, and then we
Mhm.
took the train because the train system over there is just phenomenal. I mean,
Okay.
it's fast and really efficient, like on time. So what we did is we just had our hotel in Rome, and we did like day trips to like Florence and Venice
Mhm.
and Turin. And then we did a couple like excursions to like a winery, like outside of Rome, and then went to Pompeii as well, and like climbed Mount Vesuvius, which is really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so Rome is my favorite city, like besides St. Louis, of course.
Sure.
It's the most beautiful, and there's so much to see there. I mean, you could stay a month in just Rome and not see everything that there is to see in that city.
That's
It's
crazy.
amazing, and the food is just out of this world. I mean,
yeah.
So did you go to the Vatican?
yes,
How was
yeah,
that?
we spent like a good part of a day in the
Okay.
Vatican.
Okay.
It's extremely crowded.
That's yeah.
yeah, we
I've seen
did-
pictures and I'm like, is it always like this? Because I don't want to go there
Yeah.
if that's the case.
I would recommend there's like an underground tour. Actually, the very first thing I booked for that vacation,
Mhm.
and I booked it like 6 months in advance because
Yeah.
I'm crazy.
Yeah.
And it was this tour for the Vatican, and it was a tour that goes underneath St. Peter's Basilica.
Mm-hmm.
And it like you can basically go down under there and like see the catacombs of like the
Oh.
priests and stuff. It's
Interesting.
super cool. I'm into like creepy stuff like that, and
Yeah, me
like
too.
seeing
Yeah,
like
we just yeah.
I love stuff like that. So yeah, it was like a private tour. You have to book it through the Vatican. They only take like 12 people at a time because it's a very small space that
Yeah.
goes like underneath a portion of the Vatican. So it was really cool. Highly recommend.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Me like thinking, oh, I need to do that, but like I
Is
don't
it-
have money to go over there right now.
Isn't there a conspiracy that they have a bunch of like books and paperwork there that like they say is lost, but they actually have it?
I'm sure.
Like
they
the
do.
lost book, like isn't it the lost books of like Alexandria or some shit? Am I just going on
I've
Nicholas?
never heard of
It's
this.
just
Are we
Nicolas
on
Cage.
Nicolas Cage? Is this National Treasure?
Yeah,
I
I'm like-
forget. I feel like I heard
Is this a
something
movie or
about
is this
this.
real life?
I feel like I heard something about
so
this. I could be
yeah,
wrong.
the rumor is that they have old texts from like Judaism and Christianity,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
they don't release them because they want to do their narrative, like how they see Christianity.
Oh, okay.
That's a rumor, all right? Now, go ask them and find out. I'm sure they'll be happy to throw you out.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Dude, a priest would tell me the truth. Or they wouldn't even be priests. They're like what, cardinals?
The Cardinals would probably kick you out. Yes, they take that stuff very seriously.
They're all pacifists. No, actually, probably not. Never mind. I forgot the Crusades.
100%, man. 100%.
Jesus.
Sorry. All right. All right. So in Italy, what is the best food? What's the best meal you had?
Trying to think. What's it called? The spaghetti al matriciana, I think it was
Okay.
called. It was basically like thick spaghetti noodles, and like sauteed onion and red sauce. It was amazing. And it was at this little like hole in the wall place that was like near the train station in Rome.
Mhm.
I don't remember the name of the restaurant. It was Italian, so I,
Yeah.
I would probably
Yeah.
butcher it anyway. But you had to like go down these little stairs to like get to it. And they also like they told me I could not order red wine, even though I like red wine, because of the pasta that I ordered. They were like, "No, sorry, you can't have that." And I was
Really?
Like,
Oh.
okay. I was like, "Can I have the house white?" And they're like, "Yes."
Just because it didn't match, they were like, no,
yeah,
this doesn't
you-
go together.
they're very particular about like
Interesting.
which wines go with which types of food.
Mm.
Like red wine goes with steak, and like white
Yes.
wine goes with like fish or chicken and
Yes.
pastas and certain things like that. So,
Yep.
but it was kind of funny. I thought it was hilarious that he told me no.
Yeah, I would have been like,
I was
oh,
like,
that's what I
See,
want.
that's we were just talking about this. Yeah, medium well. No.
Yeah,
That just doesn't work. That doesn't
They
work.
probably
this
wouldn't
year.
let you do that.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
no.
Yeah. In Italy, Matt would get laughed at.
Yeah.
They'd be
They
like,
would just tell you
this
no.
is a man of a little culture ordering a medium well.
Well done.
Yeah.
All right. What about Greece? Is Greece known for their food?
Oh yeah,
Are
for
they?
sure. Greece.
I don't know.
Yeah, Greek food is awesome. I mean, I love Greek food. It's probably I don't know. It's hard for me to pick favorites. Like Italian food is definitely like up there with one of my favorites, but
Mhm.
like Greek food is also one of my favorites because they have awesome like pasta dishes. They have really good like vegetable and seafood.
Aren't they known for lamb? Is
Lamb.
that-
Yeah, they do a lot of lamb. I'm
Yeah.
not really a big lamb person, so like
It's kind of hit and miss.
yeah,
I
I
feel like
don't.
it just depends.
But yeah, the food was awesome over there for sure.
There's some good Greek places here. I know Michael's.
Mhm.
Michael's is pretty good. What's that? There's a Greece spot.
There's one in Collinsville, Illinois, that's really good.
Interesting.
That I love. Can't think of the name of it right now. Fozzy's.
Okay.
Yeah, Fozzy's in
Mm.
Collinsville is one of my favorite Greek restaurants around. We actually, when I used to work at Anderson Hospital, which is in Maryville, Illinois, it was like right there, and so we
Okay.
ordered there like every other weekend when
Yeah.
I had to work. Delicious.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever had Greek food.
The pasticcio,
Mm-mm.
the pasticcio at Fozzy's is the best. It's basically like bechamel sauce on top of these like tubular noodles.
Mm-hmm.
And it has this like interesting sort of like cinnamony seasoning on
Mhm.
top. So
Ooh.
good. Really, really good.
Yum.
So do you cook a lot at home?
No.
Okay.
I don't have time.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
No, I do like to cook and actually like I sound crazy because I have so many ideas, but I have a second website that I haven't even like made live yet
Mhm.
for like recipes and party planning. It's called Dinner Party Perfect, but it's not live yet, so you can't go there.
Okay,
But because I have a lot of recipe ideas and like party planning ideas because I love hosting parties and
Mhm.
like planning dinner parties and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's just a time issue for me. Like I
Yeah.
feel like if I didn't work full time and maybe when my kids are a little older, I'll have more time to like devote to all my side projects and side ideas that I have.
Do you think you would ever stop doing pharmaceutical?
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And it pays really well.
Right.
So I think Eventually, maybe I would do like part-time,
Yeah,
Mhm.
like ideally. But yeah, it just kind of depends
Yeah,
on life.
it's true.
fair enough.
So could you as a clinic, you could go into like go into retail, correct?
I could, but I don't want to.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. I did work retail for like 6 months after graduation, and I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
Where would that be? Like
It's
Walgreens?
CVS is where I
Yeah.
worked, yeah, and
Yeah.
I do not recommend it.
All my I have quite a few buddies that are pharmacists, and they all pretty much went, except for one that's still at Walmart, just because he makes a fuckload of money there. They all went to like different private places that like fill scripts for like nursing homes or things like
Mhm.
that.
Okay, yeah.
So they don't have to interact with anyone.
That's what my dad did for
Yeah,
a long time.
So all they're doing is literally just filling scripts,
Yeah.
which I feel like wouldn't be that bad of a job.
No, that wouldn't be too bad.
But,
It's
but
the-
retail, oh my god, they're all.
retail,
Are
yeah.
they ever not busy?
Not
I feel like you're.
from my experience.
Yeah, I feel like every time I drive by a Walgreens or a CVS, there's at least one car there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the CVS that
And then
the
people
CVSs
inside.
that I worked at, like I was a floater, which means I went to different
Yeah,
pharmacies,
Yeah.
and I would travel. Like they would send me 2 hours to a store. I'd
Mm-hmm.
work a 14-hour shift without being allowed to sit down or have a lunch break,
Yep.
and then I would drive 2 hours home.
No.
Those are the working conditions at CVS. And that's why there's been, I don't know if you've heard, but there's been a lot of like walkouts at the pharmacies, like in
Really?
Kansas
Mm.
City and Kansas and stuff, where the staff has just left because like that's
They're
the
gonna
working
treat-
conditions.
yeah.
Like you don't get a lunch break. You don't get like,
Why do they
Any
do
help?
it like that?
Well, because they're planning a
because
strike,
they want
right?
to push as many prescriptions through as possible. It's
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, because at Walgreens, I think they have like a 30-minute lunch break.
They might now, but
They do.
yeah.
They do now. Yeah, because I know the one near me definitely does. They
Mhm.
it's from
Yeah.
like 1 to 1:30 or something. They put a sign up.
Well, I know the CVS and the Target that I go to does have like a 30-minute lunch break.
Yeah, they didn't used to. I
Yeah.
worked there like 10 years ago. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was different.
Because like if I go in the middle of the day, they have
My
like
buddy
a
will
little,
say
like,
he won't use the bathroom for like 6 hours. I'm like,
Oh.
what? How?
I mean, literally, it
I'm
was
like, how do you do
terrible.
that?
I've worked in like a literal factory before. Like
Yeah.
I worked in an LK factory back when I was in college for a
Mhm.
summer,
Mhm.
and those working conditions were like 10 times better than working at CVS because it was like working in a factory where you were just pushing strips through as fast as you possibly could, which is also, by the way, not safe for
Right.
patients.
Yeah.
And then you'd get screamed at by a random person whose insurance charged them $10 more that month.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was like you were in a factory and then you get screamed at every 30 minutes
Yeah.
by some person
Mhm.
you didn't know.
So just so you guys know, it looks like at the end of this month, November 1st, Walgreens and CVS workers are planning a nationwide strike
Oh wow.
for conditions that you're talking about right now. So
Yeah.
it's going to happen
Well,
at the end of this month.
They don't have a union or anything, do they, for
No.
pharmacists or
No.
anything
Mm-mm.
like that?
No.
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
Interesting. Well, maybe they should,
Right.
or they should at least do some sort of collective bargaining because that's
Yeah.
insane. Well, they make enough money.
Right.
Walgreens, all these
And they
companies
pay
make
well.
so
They pay
much.
pharmacists
Right.
well.
Yeah,
It's
they-
just they just don't care about
doesn't-
they don't care about their employees and they don't care about the people.
At some
They
point,
really
the money
don't.
doesn't matter though.
They only care
like
about
you-
the money.
And if you're a pharmacist, like I know, they could go work at. They could probably go get a job at, as long as you have some sort of experience, like a smaller drugstore and whatever, Sedalia, right? And then
Yeah.
you just work for a guy that's owned that store forever.
Well,
It-
the ironic thing is that like CVS has come out saying like, oh, there's a pharmacist shortage and that's why, like why we don't have enough staff for these
Mhm.
stores or whatever, which is
Mhm.
complete bullshit. Like they have an oversupply of pharmacists
Yes.
right
Right.
now. Like you
Yes.
can look it up anywhere and like
Yep.
there's too many pharmacists because all these pharmacy schools popped up whenever there was a shortage, like,
Mhm.
Bunch of my
15,
friends
20
went
years
to
ago.
St. Louis College of Pharmacy.
Yeah, and so it was like I remember before I started pharmacy school, there was a shortage, and so like a bunch of us went to pharmacy
Yeah.
school, and then by the time we graduated, it was filled.
Mhm.
There was no more need for pharmacists because they were all like there were so many schools that had popped up and filled that need already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so it's definitely not tied to pay. Walgreens pharmacists make $57.45 an hour. It's literally just the work conditions are so horrible that they just don't want to deal with it anymore. But the
Right.
pay is good.
What is
Yeah.
what is 57 an hour? I thought it was like 115, around 115,000 at like Walgreens and those
yeah, I would say
places.
between like 100 and 115 is like the average.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
But
least in
good
the
money,
Midwest, yeah.
terrible work conditions. That's why.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
At what point do you want to go into work every day, work for 12 hours or whatever, get screamed at, work in a factory-like condition, and then do it all over again the next day? At some point, even though that money hits your account, you're like, fuck this.
It doesn't. Well, it makes sense now because I used to go to Walgreens and it would take forever. Like if I was in the drive-thru and there was people in front of me, it would take forever. But it makes sense because one, they don't really care, so they're just going to take as long as possible. And then, like you said, the customers are bitching them out, saying, "Well, I shouldn't have to pay for this," or "Why is my insurance not covering this?" But I would be there for like 30 minutes just to
Well, a
pick
lot
up
of
my
times it
prescription.
depends on like insurance issue. It's always the insurance issues
Yeah.
like that
It's like,
take the
that's not
longest.
my problem.
Right? But I mean,
it's not their problem either.
Well,
But I mean,
no,
it's-
no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the worker,
yeah.
it's not their problem.
right?
well, it's on the pharmacist to fix it though, because you're
but we're the
anytime you
messengers,
call the
so it's always our
yes.
fault
Yeah.
when
Yes.
people come
Correct.
together.
Right.
yeah, because you can't call your insurance company direct. Like like your doctor has to work with like your pharmacist to get it done. Like there's no calling your like insurance company, or maybe there is.
There is,
yeah.
But it's like
but yeah, it's what the insurance company wants to pay for. Like
Yeah.
we have no control. Like pharmacists have no control over what the insurance covers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
do you see a lot of people using GoodRx and things like that?
Yeah, we do. And some things it's beneficial for sure.
Mhm. Have you seen prices go up dramatically on pharmaceuticals since you've
No, not
No?
really. I mean, depends on which drugs. I mean,
yeah.
brand names have always been more expensive,
Mhm.
and
Right.
a lot of pharmaceutical companies will come up with like we call them patent extenders. So
Yeah.
basically, when they have a drug that's become generic, they'll come out with a very very similar drug, like sometimes like an isomer of that compound
Mm-hmm.
that they'll market as like a brand new drug and like push it out to everybody, and everybody gets on this brand new drug that's a brand name because they can keep it brand name for 7 years, and then people will pay more for it.
Yeah, pharmaceuticals are fun. Remember Martin Scornelli, or what's that guy's name? Remember he raised the price of that drug. Was it insulin or something by like 1,000%? Remember that, like
Who
4 or
did?
5 Martin Scornelli or something like
Oh,
that.
I don't know.
Mm-mm.
He was like a 30-year-old. It was insulin or something like that. And he skyrocketed the price. He eventually, I think, either went to jail or almost went to jail.
No clue.
Anyways, he goes on podcast now and literally is like, "Whoa, we spend all this time and money developing it." Yeah, Martin Shkreli.
Oh man. Ordered to return $64 million, barred from the drug industry for life.
Yeah,
Oh, they want everything he got.
yeah, yeah.
Yikes. I didn't know about that.
Anti-parasitic drug. Oh,
Right here, $13.50 to $750 per pill.
Yeah,
It
he-
went from change to like actual
For
$100.
what pill? What medication?
Daraprim, anti-parasitic.
Yes,
I did not hear about that.
as it treats rare parasitic diseases that strikes pregnant women, cancer patients, and AIDS patients. So basically, cancer,
guy.
AIDS, and some pregnant women. But yeah, it went from $13 to $700.
Yeah, 5,500% increase in price.
Yeah, there's definitely some greedy people out there.
Yeah.
Did you talking about nurses and stuff like that? Did you ever hear about that one or it was a nurse who like kept getting fired from multiple hospitals because he was like killing patients
No.
on the clock?
Yes. Yeah.
There's like two
There's
movies on
multiple
Netflix.
stories of these. There's
Yeah,
not
there's
just
a lot of
one
people,
nurse that has done that.
There's one lady nurse, she killed babies. And I
Mhm.
can't remember where that was at, but
Mhm.
she killed like 6 babies, and then
Yeah.
they finally figured it out that it was her on every shift.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
That's how it was
mean,
with this guy. He killed like hundreds. They like
That's
still don't even know
crazy.
the
Yeah.
amount. But he would go in. I think he was like drugging them with like insulin instead
Yeah.
of saline.
that'll
was
do
just-
it.
And
Yeah,
so
it
it
was
was just
something like
like
that,
And
yeah.
every single shift at night, he would go in. I guess you have to like not clock in, but like track that you went in to get saline bags. He would pop them just a little bit, fill them with insulin, and then everybody would take them and
Oh,
put them in like in the
IV?
IVs and stuff,
wow.
and people would just code, and they never figured out that it was him. But he kept getting fired, but the hospitals like weren't doing anything. But he
Ye-
just like transferred to all these hospitals and kept
I don't
doing
get
it.
how they would get
Overdose
how
of
he would get fired,
insulin.
but not like
I know.
get his license taken away. That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Charles
he-
Cullen.
Yeah.
yeah,
He
yeah.
finally admitted to it, and it
Overdose.
was like crazy.
Overdoses. So he just injected him with a bunch of shit.
Mm-hmm.
This one, a heart medication overdose. 3 elderly women with dioxin.
Yeah, digoxin, yeah.
Digoxin. Yeah, it's not a good guy.
No.
It says dozens to hundreds. They don't know.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
11.
This
Second
isn't even that
pass.
long ago. He was active till
Oh, I know.
03.
Yeah.
Well, now he's 11 consecutive
that
life
is longer. That's
sentences.
20
He's
years
going to be
ago.
in there
Yeah.
for 397
It's
years.
20 years.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was like, wait, I guess
I
it
know,
is.
it doesn't feel like it's that long
That's
ago.
gross. I don't like saying that out loud.
Yeah.
All right. What I want to ask you one last thing about traveling. What are your opinions on cruises?
I like them.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends on where and with which cruise line. I think. For me personally, I've been on a few different cruise lines, and Royal Caribbean is really nice, especially if you get like on a newer ship.
Mhm.
I think that's a big thing because the older ships you can feel the turbulence and stuff a lot more.
Mm.
So if you get motion sickness, always look for like a newer ship because they have better stabilizers.
That's why I worry about going on one. I feel like
Yeah.
I would get sick.
And then, like Carnival, they're a lot cheaper, but I do not recommend. Like, I've only been on one Carnival to be fair, but it was bad. It was like
Ooh.
bad food. Like it smelled like feces,
Ugh.
and
Oh my.
it
That's
was
my
really
big
really
worry.
rough.
Yeah.
like,
That's my
really
big
rough.
worry of.
Yeah.
I mean, you're sitting in a petri dish. I mean, I just
Yeah,
going back to COVID.
Yeah.
Remember the ship that just got
Mhm.
docked in Japan for like
yeah,
2
that's
months.
scary now
Mhm.
for sure.
Like
Yeah, you're just stuck.
what?
That dude lost his job for trying to get the people off the boat to get to hospitals. He lost his job for that.
I'm not surprised. Sure, a lot. I'm sure. Yeah.
And
I'm
I've heard really good things about the river cruises in Europe too. My parents have been on like a river cruise that goes down like, and that's a good way actually to see multiple countries because it'll
Mhm.
go down like one of the main rivers, and so you can see like Germany and France.
I don't know any
Ooh.
rivers in Europe now that
There's a lot.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
It makes sense.
But I took a European history class and I can draw Europe, but I don't know where I cannot name one river in Europe. I literally can't name one.
The only thing coming to my head is Nile.
That's in Africa. Say Amazon because that's in South America.
That wasn't even on my
Okay,
radar.
okay.
Literally, the
I couldn't
only thing
name
was
any.
Nile.
I couldn't name any of them to be fair either.
I don't-
I'm really bad at geography.
I don't even know where they're
Yeah.
at. Like I couldn't even point them out on a map.
Yeah, I'm bad at geography, but
Me too.
like, I have a lot of places I want to go, but like ask me where they're at. I don't know.
That's fair. All right, I know we got like 10 minutes left here, so do you want to hop into your talking point here about the Aries tour? Aries tour? What the hell you say? That's how much I care about Taylor Swift. Just disrespect the tour name that made what
I'm
130
guessing
million
it's like
plus
the horoscope,
globally.
right, Aries?
No, it's eras. Actually,
Are you
What does
serious?
that mean?
Oh.
Not even close.
I thought he was saying Aries, like the
Yeah, exactly.
What
No,
does
the
Eris?
tour.
What does Eris even mean?
Eras?
Eras.
Like an era.
Like I'm in my.
Aries is
This
a Greek
era.
god,
delete,
my guy.
delete that 5
No,
seconds.
no,
no,
no.
no one heard that. Fast forward, skip.
The Eras tour.
That
Do you know the
makes sense.
background behind it?
I don't.
Ask me if I
Okay.
care.
I'm not a big Taylor Swift person
Oh,
either.
I
sorry.
am.
Thank you. I was about to say.
So basically, so she hasn't toured since 2017 for like an album. You know how artists will like drop an album and then they tour that album
Yes.
Mhm.
and name it pretty much that album.
Yeah.
Well, from 2017 to now, she's dropped 5 albums, I think. And then COVID happened, so she couldn't tour, obviously. And so everyone was like, okay, when touring opens back up, what are you going to do? Like, you dropped 5 albums, you can't just pick one. And obviously, you're not going to perform for 3.5 hours all of your songs. And she was like, yes, I am. So that's what she did. She sings 44 songs, like a 3.5 hour show.
Holy cow.
Okay,
And it's
let's
just
be
the
honest.
Eras tour.
Let's be honest. How is she not like peeing her pants in the show?
Well,
Three
I
and a
mean-
half hours?
Well, okay, so for each
I'm
era,
sure
But you're-
they might give her a break for a couple of minutes.
They don't-
there's no intermission.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like 3 minutes though.
she has each era she dresses differently because it's over the past 17 years. So she goes
Oh.
off.
I get now why people were wearing different outfits.
Yes.
Now I didn't
Oh,
understand
so
that
she
either.
changes.
Yeah, but it's like quick changes.
Hmm.
Like a minute to a minute and a half.
Did you see
And
the
she comes
show?
out and yeah,
You
I went to
did.
KC.
Oh wow.
So yeah, she changes outfits completely. Shoes,
Okay,
outfits,
so she has
everything.
a chance then.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you can't just be out there singing. You gotta be. How are you gonna sing and not drink water for like 3.5 hours? You gotta be.
No.
You could just parched like you're in a
It's probably
desert.
just adrenaline
Yeah, maybe, but
because like it was like insane. It is a production.
I mean, I can guarantee if Taylor Swift needs to go to the bathroom, somebody's
let
going to
her.
make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She probably
They're
has,
not going to be
a-
like, no, get back on stage.
there is like 2 transitions that are a little bit longer. So maybe at that point,
You said there's no intermissions.
they're not intermissions. It's
transition.
transition.
Well, what is that? 5 minutes?
No, not even.
3 minutes?
They're not even that
All
long.
right.
I would say like 1 to 2 minutes is like the longest that it
If you
is.
could DM Taylor for us and ask.
Okay, I'll get right on that.
Get back
She's
to
too
us
busy
on
with
that.
Travis.
Oh, yeah, they're everywhere.
Mhm.
I know who that is now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm one of those people that didn't know who that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
before.
I didn't really care that
No,
much. I knew
that's
who he
my
was.
argument's proven. She put him on the map.
Oh, she definitely did.
No, I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Most men don't.
Oh, most men don't know. You know, you're asking people in St. Louis that for some reason like KC.
No, no. Like the thing is now, people are like, oh, like the girls will say to the guy, like, oh, Taylor put Travis on the map, and they're like, are you stupid? No, she didn't. Everybody knew who Travis was.
He went from like being a B-list celebrity to an A-list celebrity.
Yeah.
No, I
There's
know, but
no doubt
but
about
people are like the guys are getting mad because
Guys,
they watch
give
the
it up.
NFL.
You're wrong on this one.
So anybody in the NFL
Guys
knows
are
who
wrong on
Travis
this.
is. But I'm like,
Yeah, but-
okay, everybody in the world knows who Taylor
Yeah,
is.
I did not know that he was
Yes.
actually a really good football player, though. My
Yeah.
husband was like, he's actually like really great. Like people have known about him for a
Yeah.
while.
He is.
I'm
he
like,
is.
well, some people have known about him.
Yeah,
for a while.
everybody online is like, no, he's like one of the best football, like,
He's arguably top 2 tight ends.
yeah, like of all time. That's what I've heard.
Don't even know what a tight end is. So
I had to ask. I still don't even really know.
he just has a tight
Just
end.
imagine a wide receiver. Usually, though, they're just bigger guys.
I
that
don't
can
even know what a
block.
wide receiver is.
Receiver catches the ball.
Yes, correct. They just run
Apparently,
and catch the ball.
okay, it's coming
A
back.
tight end is just a
They're on
bigger
the
dude.
end. They're on the end.
So
And
they
they
block
block.
it? Okay,
they
that
usually
makes
they
sense.
either block or they go out for shorter passes.
All right.
and then they run and touchdown.
Let's just go
I mean,
over all the
that's-
rules of
that's-
football.
that's the goal.
Well, whenever she was at
Just
one of the
kidding.
first two
Explaining the
games,
Just
rules,
kidding, I
yes.
don't care.
my dad like literally paused it when they were like about to hike the ball, I guess. And he was like, this is what each position does. And I'm like, okay.
Okay.
That's
Like on
great.
my phone. Like,
Yeah.
Stop talking.
Yeah. Great.
No,
Ugh.
that is true. No, it's like I don't know. I don't get it.
See, I don't really care about either of them,
Mhm.
but like I'm on social media, so
So
like
you
I
see
see
it.
their stuff all the time.
It's hard not to.
Like I'm not really a Taylor fan. I'm one of the don't hate me for saying this, but I'm one of the people that think that all of her songs sound the same,
I know.
and I can't like.
So here's the thing, I did too, because I'm a huge Harry Styles fan,
Huh.
and when they dated 13 years ago, I was like,
They need to get back
I'm
together.
like, oh.
That relationship makes more sense than her and Travis.
I would like literally love that.
Yeah, that makes
but-
more sense.
I could not care.
But when
less.
they dated and then they broke up, I'm like, ew, like she's a bitch, like she's with my man.
I was just saying before, like, why would she date a fuckboy? But anyways, we've had this discussion. I put my phone on silent and it's not on silent. I
It's
don't
vibrating.
understand. I put it on silent.
This is just a scuff
You can
podcast.
turn
It's
off the
okay.
vibration. We're not talking about this
So
right now.
even if it's on silent, it vibrates.
Yeah, but you can turn off the vibration.
Ah.
Like I don't have vibrate on.
I don't know, Matt. You know, I just think when I put a phone on silent, that means it's fucking silent, and that also means it doesn't vibrate because that's still making a sound. Am I wrong?
God.
Am I? Am I wrong? I feel like I'm right here. Maybe I'm not.
Just
All right,
Android
so-
logic, man.
That's
It's all good.
She made a bunch of money. I know. She made a bunch of money off the Aries tour. I'm just gonna disrespect. Call it the wrong.
Eras.
I know. The Eras tour.
Yeah, it was opening weekend for the movie. I saw it Sunday. It was amazing.
Was it actually good though?
Oh, it was so good. Because from where I was sitting, I was
Let's
like
look up the review. What does IMDb have to say? What does Metacritic have to say?
probably. Well, I mean,
it's breaking a bunch of
Yeah.
records. I know.
Oh, that was the
So-
130 million. That was from the movie.
yes.
What?
So it broke records. Thank you, 100%.
Oh, that's Rotten Tomatoes. That doesn't matter. That's not what we're
It's
looking
right
at.
8 points. Yeah, so it broke records.
8.6
It's the
on
biggest
IMDb.
concert film
Let's take that down to 8.5.
ever. 95 million nationally
That's
and 130
insane.
million globally, just in the
Insane.
opening weekend.
Wow.
No, I liked it because when I saw it live, I couldn't see like her like facial expressions as well, but this it was like right in her face.
It was the
So it was
number
amazing.
1 box office in the United Kingdom, Mexico, Australia, Germany, and the Philippines.
Wow.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be released in 2 weeks in Brazil, South Korea, Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, Hong Kong. Now, does she sing in the movie, I would assume?
It's literally her concert.
I guess my
The movie
question.
is just her concert?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I thought it was like backstage, like behind the scenes
No,
kind of a movie.
so she has one on Netflix too of the last tour.
I was going to
and then
ask
this
about
one.
translation. That answers my question because I was like a movie, but I was like, how are they going to translate?
No, it's
But
just a concert.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
I mean, they do that though with voiceover. You know, like
Mhm.
Yeah,
But I mean, when she's there in concert, like she was just in Argentina at the beginning of in like September, and then
Yeah,
she's
I
gonna
guess she
be back
doesn't
in
sing
November.
a different language.
No, she like only sings in English.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, it's like a 3-hour long movie because that's how long the concert is.
Interesting.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
So they made so much money off the tour, they were like, let's just film it and put it in theaters as well.
Beyonce just did the same thing. I don't really fuck with Beyonce though.
yeah, I would rather go to Beyonce like concert.
Same.
I'm not a fan of her.
100%.
I like
I'd
her.
rather go to Beyonce.
I've always wanted to go
She
to
has
Beyonce.
bangers.
I was sad I didn't get to go. To
I
the one
just think she's
this year.
so.
Taylor Swift doesn't have one banger.
Her voice, like Beyonce's voice, is killer. Like she has vocal talent for
I just
sure.
don't
Taylor
love like
Swift.
her family.
What?
Like her and Jay-Z, they're just like so full of each other. They like
Oh,
literally
100%.
think they're king and queen of the world.
They have like over a bill between them. They are like the king and queen of music, sort of.
No, they're not. What has Jay-Z done in the last 5 years?
That's a good question. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't care about her family too much, but I think that she's just an undeniable talent. You
Well,
know?
no, I agree.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
and like
Well,
yeah,
just
ever
her
since
personally, I'm like,
Destiny's Child, like just
I'm about to look
I'm
up
big
Beyonce
fan.
songs
Destiny's
right now.
Child fan right here.
Oh,
I know
Destiny's
Beyonce
Child.
songs.
All right, name one.
I could name 10. We do gotta get out of here. We got 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, let's wrap it up, shall we?
Yep.
Tell the audience where they can find you. Where should they go and check you out? I know you got some websites and things like that. Feel free and name those off for us.
I only have one website
Okay.
as of now. It's just annacarwile.com. So Carwile is CARWILE.com. And then on Instagram, I'm annacarwile.stl.
Feel free and check her out there. Obviously, she has a lot of itineraries. Hopefully, we can see the other website launched in a little bit with
The recipes.
with the recipes and everything else.
Don't hold your breath. there's a lot on my website about St. Louis too, like
Mhm.
locally
Yes.
restaurants, things to do, stuff like that, date night ideas. So
Oh, we already said your favorite spot in St. Louis, didn't we?
Mhm.
one of them, yeah.
Yeah, the Brazil. food place.
Okay. Well, I was about
I've
to
got a
ask that
lot.
question.
There's
we
a lot
already-
of favorites. It's hard
Yes.
to pick.
Yeah.
Go to my website if you want to see all my favorites, because
Yes.
that's where I
Check
focus
out the
them.
website. We'll link it in the description as well. So feel free and go there too. All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. However, we will be back next week at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time with a new episode, new guest, and unfortunately, more of myself, and fortunately, more of Katie. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching live or later, we said something wrong, said something you hate, or said something you want to hear more about. I know the guys hopefully are going to DM me saying, Travis was an A-list celebrity. And then I just get to tear them apart because they're wrong. Feel free and message us at St. Louis Podcast as well. Finally, episode was recorded at Half Coast Studios in St. Louis. We got these lovely new mics today, which I could say are a little annoying because I prefer the boom, as well as my headset completely not working on the left side. I'm trying to like hold it together with these strings. So shout out Half Coast Studios, for sure. Matt and the gang, Alex Dietrich, they'll get you well taken care of for sure. All right. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today and a pleasure hosting the podcast for the people of St. Louis. We'll see everyone again next week. Thank you.
Hey there, St. Louis Podcast listeners. We've got some exciting news from our sponsor, Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Lee. Mark Lee of Farmers Insurance is recruiting agency owners here in St. Louis.
That's right, Garrett, and everyone knows what Farmers Insurance is, and if they don't, they will now.
Yes, it's kind of a household name. That said, as many of you know, a large part of our audience is made up of badass business owners, entrepreneurs, and top producing sales professionals with an open mind like yourself. Farmers Insurance is currently searching for driven individuals who aspire to own their own business or already own their own business and want to add another income stream to join the Farmers Insurance brand and own their own insurance agency.
This is a stellar opportunity to build your own insurance agency from scratch, take over an existing agency, or if you're just a slow roller, we know you, the guys out there and ladies, get paid to train under an existing successful agency owner before starting your own.
Holy shit, Eric. That means that whether you have experience as a business owner or you've never heard the word business before in your life, there's a pathway to owning your own business through Farmers Insurance Agency led by Mark Lee.
That's right. You can become a Farmers Insurance business owner even if you've been homeless in the past, just like you.
Yeah, thanks.
If you've ever dreamt of being your own boss, building a team under a reputable brand, and making a difference in your community by offering top-tier auto, home, and commercial insurance to consumers and businesses in your area, Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the godlike man himself, Mark Lee, has the perfect opportunity for you.
Visit insurancecareerstl.com to speak with Mark Lee, the district manager of Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, to become a Farmers Insurance Agency owner today.
Did you hear that, St. Louis? Go visit insurancecareerstl.com. Insurancecareerstl.com. That is INSURANCE, career, CAREERSTL.com.
To become a business owner today, again, one more time, visit insurancecareerstl, as in St. Louis.com today. Right now, this second, or reach out to us at stlouispodcast.com and we'll introduce you to Mark Lee ourselves. And I promise he won't spell out insurance and career to you.